Introducing the reigning, defending, inside fighting host, Robby Sid Clark.
Awesome, man. Well, Ty, man, thank you so much for the show. Listen, I wanted to kind of commemorate you because I know you're probably training hard right now, and I didn't think it would be right, to do this any other way. I know it's kind of 9 a.m. there right now, so I just wanted to get it started for you, and then we'll take it from there.
But that's brand new, out of the box.
It is. My wife wouldn't let me do it any other way. Has it got to be a used one, bro? All right.
It's got to be used. You might as well use a cup.
Yeah, now this is even worse.
Yeah,
right,
see, now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking. And see, you double use the shoe, so it's good. It's you.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. There you go.
Yeah. Woo! What time is it there?
Oh, it's 4 p.m. here.
Oh, yeah.
We're good.
Perfect time. Perfect.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Ty, man, thank you so much, man. I've been looking forward to this. We've had the my team's done a really good job of getting some people, but when they brought up your name, I was like, dude, this is cool. I knew we were gonna have some fun on this one. So first off, man, I wanted to ask you, how's your training camp been going? I've been following your social, and you look like you're moving around great as always, but you look to be in really good shape.
Yeah, I feel my body's adapting, so I feel my body's getting better the more I go on in my career, and so I feel like I'm probably nearly already on weight, so I'm feeling good. I'm excited for this one, to be honest. Excited to perform back in front of the crowd and that. I love when there's a crowd, it's a bit more of a show. So I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, you were fighting for a Shoey backstage last time, which you got, which was good, right? But no, I'm gonna be there. So after your win, if you see me, I'll be ready for you as well too. But now coming off back-to-back wins, Greg Hardy's a huge name. I know he's he won a couple fights before that, and he's coming off a loss, but he's a huge name in the sport. You guys are a main card fight. Where do you see his strengths lie and his weaknesses in his abilities?
His strengths definitely would be a big athlete. He's obviously played other sports, which is like NFL would have to be one of the hardest sports to try and make professionally. UFC is probably one of the hardest sports to make. I take my hat off to him. He's an athlete, but this is fighting. And I'm a fighter, so.
Well, it's a good point you brought there, because again, you're only 28 years old, but you're still, extremely young for somebody who's been fighting 19 years, since you were 19 years old, right? It was when your first fight was?
I had my first MMA fight at 17.
Oh, okay. So that's just not on the records. We're just not going to talk about that again.
I don't know if it's on the record. I don't know, but that was when I had my first fight at 17.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going from Sherdog there, but particularly in the heavyweight division, the fighters tend to reach their prime a little bit later. So even at the lighter divisions, 28, you're still young, which means like with a big win on Saturday night, against Greg Hardy, where do you think this puts you in the division?
Oh, I'll be back on the roll once I secure this win. Depending on how I win, if I want to do it Bam Bam style, which I'm going to try. It's definitely going to get me back on the roll and get me back running again with those top 15, top 10 guys, and I'm not in a rush. I'm a prize fighter, man. I'm in this for the coin. I'm in this to entertain, feed my son. So right now, Greg Hardy's my focus. And then after that, I'll be back on a 3-win strike. So then I'll be looking for the top 15 or top 10. But I'm not in any rush, man. I'm young. I'm keen. I'm still learning this MMA thing, this whole MMA thing, and I'm really starting to enjoy it. So I feel that the better I get, the harder it's going to be for my opposition. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You're one of the younger guys in the division, especially for where you're at, and you can see, the UFC is one of the good things about you, and it's just your natural personality. It's not that you're getting, something up there. You got great engagement, but you just, you're a funny guy, right? So they, you're a promoter's dream to promote.
Oh, I'm just me, man. I'm just a fucking Westie from Western Sydney. You know what I mean? So that's it's just who we are.
Yeah, you know, and one of the other things I wanted to bring up is a lot of people don't know this about you, but you played rugby growing up, and you actually played professionally. And so, you know, a lot of athletes like Greg Hardy, similar. He played another sport growing up, although for a long period of time he was in the NFL and then transitioned over, and you transitioned to MMA a lot sooner. What do you think has helped you being an athlete your whole life? Like what has transitioned over well? I mean, obviously you've got great balance and coordination. In Canada, I played rugby as well too, but not nearly as competitive as you. So what do you think helps you from that leading into MMA?
Definitely the contact side of things, you know, in rugby league and stuff. You're colliding, you someone's trying to tackle you and take you down, which is very similar to a tackle or a takedown in MMA. So just getting used to that collision and timing of that is always helped. But I've always my dad was a boxer, so I've always fought, and my family we always fought. So fighting has always been a part of my life. My dad just never wanted any of us to fight. He said it was a lonely sport and a very tough sport. So fighting kind of just drew me. I think I'm not really a competitive person. I am, but I'm not. But when it comes to a fight, it's more like, all right, that's me against you. You're trying to hurt me. So I'm just trying to, you know, I want to hurt you first. So I don't know. The fighting for me has always just been more attractive, if that's a word. You know what I mean? Like in that type of sense. But the rugby league for me was all we had. That's all we did. It's very big in my community out here, and it's kind of all you kind of did, that or crime. You know what I mean? So that was the two only options. And once everyone started getting in trouble a bit more often, I think MMA popped up on the TV, and that's how it come about. And the boys, we were watching it all one day in the garage, and the boys were like, "Fuck, Ty, I reckon you could smash some of these cunts." And I was like, "Fuck, I reckon I could too." So I went down to the gym and had a crack, and now we're here.
And that's how it was. I always like to ask that, how people got into MMA, because in such a new sport, you know, it's tough to it's like, how did you pick it up? Especially because, yeah, you were only 28, but you know, you did get involved in it about 10 years ago then. So you were what? You were 17.
Yeah, I was 17. Two of my mates, they got big sentences to jail, and we were next. They didn't like us. And yeah, it was kind of just popped up in the TV, and we're all in the garage doing what you do and when you're young. And this was UFC, yeah, and it popped up, and fucking there's just crazy guys just in there fucking smashing each other, you know what I mean? And the boys were like, "Fuck, Ty, I reckon you can smash some of these cunts." And I was watching it, I was like, "Fuck, I reckon I would too. I'd have a crack," you know what I mean? I'd love to have a crack. And then I was just kind of, it was just in the balance, you know. I was like, all right, well, we're probably going to go to jail, or we're just going to keep doing naughty things or whatever we're doing, you know what I mean? And then I went down to the gym, and yeah, the trainers were like, "Fuck, come here." The rest is history.
Well, that's a big thing too. I think one of the things that helps you, I mean, you added some kicks into your arsenal on your last fight, but you're actually, and that's the thing I noticed from the get-go, you move so well, and you're so coordinated at your size as well too, which I think rugby obviously had a big factor in, right? Because if you just start trying to do
it's my genes, man. I got good genes, man. I'm Aboriginal. My mother's Aboriginal. My dad's Samoan, so I got good genes, man.
Yeah,
very good genes. Warrior genes.
Did you win your dad over in fighting now? Are they fans, and are they watching your fights, or how did that go?
Yeah. My dad didn't say, he didn't not like fighting. He always used to tell me, you know, on a football field, you have 13 friends to help you. He said, in a ring, I can't help you. Your brothers can't help you. He said, it's a very lonely. It's once you're in there, you're by yourself. And I kind of didn't really understand that until I got my ass beat by Peter Graham. You know what I mean? And damn, it was probably one of the most lonely. It's probably the most loneliest place you could ever be when you're in that cage and you got nowhere to run and no one to help you. And you're just like, oh fuck, just give me a hidey.
I get it. I can imagine. Now you were, I think 24 when you made your first fight. Were you 24 or 25 on your first fight?
Yeah, I would have been 24.
Turning 25, March. So the how have you grown since then? Like, how has your approach to fighting from 24 to now 28 inside the octagon matured you or changed you?
Massively. I've changed my whole life. I was still doing whatever I was doing. I wasn't a full-time athlete. I wasn't, you know what I mean? I kind of stumbled upon becoming giving this a full crack when my baby mama was pregnant. You know what I mean? And it wasn't until that day she was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, well, fuck, I don't want to be a useless dad. Do you know what I mean? So I put my head down, and within the 9 months, I signed to the UFC before my son was born. And then when I signed, I had to sit out for a whole year because I had a knee injury and an arm injury. So that was why I was kind of talked about, and then I was signed, and then I kind of went missing because I snapped my knee in the fight to make it in the UFC, but I didn't tell them, and I'd signed the contract, and then I told that they said, "Can you fight in 3 months?" And I said, "Oh, nah, I don't think I can fight for a little bit."
That's so funny because I remember that you got signed in 2016. You didn't fight till like February or something in 2017, I think it was, or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty funny. I actually didn't know that, but
Yeah.
Hey, but you did the right moves, right? So you knew they.
Oh, of course, I was securing the bag before I let them know. That's for sure.
That's amazing. Yeah. So what has been your toughest fight to date in the UFC, and what did you learn the most from?
Oh, well, that would have to be JDS. There's a few, like the JDS fight was really like the fight to be like, all right, you're young, you're full of go, you know what I mean? It's like, so, and for me that's work, you know, in my life, you know what I mean? It's work for me to push forward and fucking hurt them, you know what I mean? And win. But every time I've fucking lost to the old fellas, you know what I mean? It's always these older fellas who have done it. These guys have been hit, they've taken hits, they've given hits, they've been knocked out, they've knocked people out, you know what I mean? Here's just me coming in, fucking all go, and just, you know, I'll just knock cunts out. And that was more like, that was the day I was like, all right, just calm down a little bit, you know, you know what I mean? And kind of put me back in my place a bit. And yeah, it was good. But you know, if I could go around again, I would definitely do it differently. But that's life, eh? That's the fight business for sure. You know, especially in the heavyweight division, you could all be looking all good and one punch, fucking, you're having a nap with the fairies.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's especially at heavyweight. I think the most title defenses is 3 right now, right? So it's by Stipe. So, but yeah, no, it's the other thing is too, you find that a lot with veterans, and like you said, you were going in there and that was a fun fight, but you find the veterans take their time a lot more because that's the one thing that the newer guys coming in, they conserve their energy, and that winds up being a deciding factor at all weight classes, not just heavyweight.
Yeah,
you see that. Maybe not at 135, 145, the 25. These guys can go all
I
day.
don't think them guys get tired, to be honest.
No, they just keep going. But yeah. So in the locker room before a fight, and I don't know if this has changed. What do you, it's funny to get inside the fighter's head. Some guys are not scared. Some guys are nervous. Some guys say everybody's nervous, and then you got Chuck Liddell who wants to fight now, right? Like, what's going through your mind before a fight and the walkout?
We're pretty relaxed. Fight day for me and fight week is really my week. You know what I mean? I kind of get pushed around, and and then the whole camp, you listen to people, and you gotta be here and you got to do this. And that's camp, you know what I mean? That's the time to fucking work. You just got to work. And then when it comes to fight week, it's like, fuck the training, fuck everything else, you know? Like, here, show me the cameras, fucking take some photos, let's have a crack, you know what I mean? Like, fight week for me is like, all right, I'm ready. Like this, I'm over fight. I hate training. Like, I'm over training and not getting nothing out of it. I want to fucking drink. I want to, you know what I mean? So all of that for me kind of just builds up. And then once it's fight week, it's like, fuck, like, all right, this is it. And backstage for me, it's just, I listen to slow music. Obviously, you've heard my walkout music, and I listen to love songs and shit like that. So I think a lot of people I think they know me now in the UFC, but at the start, people were like, what the fuck's this guy doing? Like, this guy, they're all like singing love songs and shit. Like, we're all dancing around at the back. We're just chilling, man. Like, it's game time. It's time to fight. It's time to go to work. Like, to put food on the table for your family. Like, this for me is like, that's fun. It's the training and the building up that you have to, you know, you put your head down and ass up. And fuck, some days you just don't want to get up and do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's like fight week, you know, it's like, fuck yeah, like I did all that and I'm just going to fucking soak it up now and win or lose, just have a fucking crack, you know what I mean? Just go in there and have a crack, represent my people.
Yeah, you could see that on interviews on Fight Week last week. You were definitely ready to fight, and you had a lot of changes early on. Unfortunately, you had somebody step up on like 4 days notice or something like that. But that was good, and you went out there. And I think though, you know, like you thrive around people too because you're a social person. So I think it's gonna be cool. Vegas is pretty. I think they're fully open now, so it's gonna be a little.
Yeah, sick of no fucking crowds. Sick of that. That's fucking dead. I may as well go down the pub and fight someone. You know what I mean? It kind of, that's what it reminds me of, you know what I mean? And you used to have a fight in the pub and fucking, you couldn't tell anyone because no one was there. You didn't even know. You're talking shit, you know what I mean?
Never happened. Yeah.
Yeah, you just like, shut up. No, I swear, there was like 30 of them. I beat them all.
Yeah.
But like...
I had one of those, but I got beat. There's 30.
Yeah. Yeah,
my
but man, the crowd's back. I'm fucking pumped. Like that when you hear that roar, when you know, it's just that's kind of it's like a drug for me.
When you're in the ring, one of those things I find, because you see like people's energy wanes depending on how they're doing in a fight, right? Like a lot of things are very emotional. If you get a good hit and you hear the crowd go, "Ooh," do you get like a rush and you're like the kind of surges you with energy? How do you feel when
Yeah, watch JDS fight.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to where I'm from. I'm a street fighter, so it's like when you hear the crowd, when you hear your people screaming, it's like, fuck, you're winning. Don't stop. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's where I'm from. That's been my environment. It's like, fuck, if the crowd's cheering you on, you're winning. Like, keep going. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, you're nearly there, but you can't do that at this level. That's not how it goes. Like I was saying before, these guys have done it. These guys have been there. These guys have heard these fucking woos and wahs, and you know what I mean? They've heard it all before. It's nothing new to them. So, and now it's nothing new to me. So I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of getting there to that level of, all right, fuck, don't try and kill him like this. Just work your way, and you'll get the win. You know what I mean? And that I suppose that comes with growth. You know what I mean? Like, and growing as a fighter. And like I said, I'm excited to see myself in the next 3 years. Because I feel my wrestling's getting really good. This is going to be my last camp back home. Just due to all this shit. Like, I just can't, the COVID, and you can't get the right training here. They're fucking shutting gyms. They're this, they're that. It's just so up and down, you know what I mean? So I'll be going back to AKA after this. Just doing all my camps there with the team. So which I'm looking forward to, and which was my original plan, but the world had fucking other things.
Yeah, but just wait, you're gonna go to San Jose. They're gonna put you on a main event fight night in Australia and send you back.
Oh well, and that's I understand that, but obviously, like I have to be around these guys to get myself to stick in that top 10. You know what I mean? And fucking stick it, not fucking go there for 2 days and then get kicked out. You know what I mean? I want to start running it with these top guys, and the only way I think I'm going to be able to do that is by being around them guys, DC and Kyle and Duran and Harv, and you know what I mean. So it's I got to be around them.
Well, listen, I mean, them putting you on a main, the main card here. I mean, that's huge right there, and that's what I was talking about this before we did our interview. But within an impressive win here, I feel like you're a main event fighter on a fight night card, and you're getting close. Everything in the, like you said, it's you to string 3 wins in a row together in the UFC at the heavyweight division. It's the most difficult division to string streaks together. You're really there, and on top of that, not to put it, your caliber is there, but you're also a really marketable and likable fighter as well too. So I feel like a big win here can definitely do that for you. And I hate to ask fighters, I don't want to ask you who you would want to fight next before this fight happens, because I know you're focused on this. But are there fighters out there that you're like, hey, if I get past this, is there someone you would want next, or what are your thoughts on that? What would be the ideal situation coming off a win for you?
Yeah, I'm not really one to look into the future. There is a couple cunts I want to slap. That Brazilian, I want to slap him, whatever the fuck his name is. The fucking fake gangster.
Oh,
used to be a fat nerd.
I forget his name. I'm gonna look him up. And I can't say anything bad because I'm not a fighter and I can't defend myself. So
no one knows his name.
But okay, cool. So that's
But yeah, only other than that, him in the top 10, like, man, to be honest, I don't really know. I don't really keep up to date. But like, there's Marcin Tybura. I'd love to fight him one day, just because he's been around for a long time. I want to fight these guys that I used to, and I've got the chance to. I've got to fight Blagoy. I've got to fight JDS. Andre Arlovsky. I'd like to fight all the guys who are still around that I, you know what I mean. But Marcin's young. He's only young too, so he'll be around. But man, I need to knock this cunt out, and then I'm on a roll. And then when I'm back to America, anyone can get it.
It's funny you brought Andre up there, who's still, there, and you beat Andre, and he's he's been extreme. He must have the longest reign in the UFC now.
My man. I swear he was the guy we watched in the garage that day.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Do you remember what UFC that was?
It was probably him when he was the champion. Like, I don't know.
Back in the day when he's like him and Tim Sylvia. Yeah, that's
my man Arlovsky's been around for like fucking ever.
I love Arlovsky. Yeah, he's an OG. It's emotional to see him fight now. You just want him to get by there now, right? So
yeah. He's still having a crack. He's still out there running it with these young guys who are, he's a freak. He's definitely a freak of nature. How old is he?
He's 40. He's got to be 42 or something like that now. And he's 42. And the craziest thing I heard about him the other day is, probably a couple months ago, he was doing an interview and he's like, yeah, I still train 2 to 3 times a day. And you're like, what the? Because like you hear, I remember Overeem, had a great career, great run overall. But at the end, he was training I think there was an interview said he was training like once a day. And most guys, as they're getting older, they kind of wane off. But it's like you're 42 and you're training 2 to 3 times a day. And there's some fights, like his last fight, he's like, and he's still supremely confident. Like he won his last fight convincing. He's like, and the fight before that, he was a big underdog, but he's like, I should have won that. I've got so much respect for that guy, mainly because I same thing. I grew up with him, watching him as well too, but he's still there and he's still beating guys. Like,
He's a horse.
Yeah. And for you to beat him too, that's gotta be, just to look at it, that's gotta give you even more, not that you need more confidence, but seeing the fact that you beat him a couple of years back, 2-3 years ago, and he's still out there beating guys who you're like, I thought, the odds makers didn't see it that way. And he dominated, he did whatever. He's much better. I don't want to say he's better than people give him credit for, but he is at this point because everyone's expecting at that age for you to fall off, and he doesn't fall off.
Well, everyone was like, that was like me. Everyone was like, man, you're gonna knock this guy out cold. He's got no chin. Fuck, I went in there. He fought me the best he's ever fought. I was like, man, this guy's not going down for shit.
Yeah.
I was trying to hit him. I was fucking trying to take his head off, and he was just keep coming back, and I was like, man, this guy's fucking fit. I was like, this guy's old. I thought this guy was, I thought it was meant to be a fast-lane officer. Fucking hard as.
Yeah.
That's fighting, man. You listen to, you got all these fans and that, they say all this, and man, he rocked up and he was fucking on point. He was like, I was trying to hit him hard, and I was like, man, this old dude is just fucking. This uncle would give your ass a hiding, man.
Yeah, and his confidence to it too. He's still like, that's what I love about it. He's maybe that's part of it, but the fact he just seems unbreakable. He's the injuries aren't there, and
they're like that. All of them,
Belarus,
that part of the world, man. They're fucking. They're into it, man, and then they just go. They train till they're old as too. Like they it's just in them. Like they're just like that.
Crazy. Yeah. The
Aussies play up to under 17s football and then fucking just get on the piss for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? They're out there training till they're 55. Yeah.
So you go into who is your favorite if you watch the sport a bit, who is your favorite 3 fighters to watch right now if you had to pick like 3 guys?
Oh, right now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't really Izzy's always a treat to watch. He's just like he's like a fucking magician. So it's like you always want to watch him, obviously.
Special athlete. He's really fun to watch.
Very good. It's either all these walkouts or fucking whatever he's doing, you know what I mean? He's cool to watch. Man, I like Hurricane Shane. Is it Shane? Fuck. You're gonna make me sound bad. I don't really know their names.
Shane Burgos.
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah, I like watching him. He always has a go. You know what I mean? He always has a crack. I like them kind of guys. I don't care if you win or you lose or you fucking. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like I don't really care about that. Like, but if you go out there and you fight, that's what. I think the sport has been changing a lot to guys who are just going like, and I get it. Fuck, you're trying to win. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get all that, but I still respect more the guys who are fucking like.
Well, it's funny you said that. That's probably the perfect example because I look at Shane as probably one of the most like a very technical person, but he goes out there and he throws and you hit him and he's smiling, he's coming back.
Like Brad Riddell. Brad Riddell also, he's awesome to watch. Brad Riddell. Like man, I don't know. Like to be honest, I don't really watch it unless I know them. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So unless I like Justin Tougher, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like unless they're kind of fighting, I don't really know what's happening. Like, do you know what I mean? Or it's my team. Like, yeah, I'm not really.
You're emotionally invested.
Yeah, I'm not like. If someone's saying, "Oh, they're gonna have a crack, like it's gonna be a good fight," I'll watch it. You know what I mean? And if they like jiu-jitsuing around for like 1 minute, I'm like.
So if you know the guys are Shane Burgos, you're watching it, and we're.
Well, yeah, those guys. You know, you got the who, like the big girls. They're so young. I like watching the girls. Man, sometimes the girls fucking smack harder on than the boys. Do you know what I mean? It's like I just like to watch to be honest, I watch fucking street beefs and like gypsy fights and shit religiously more than I watch UFC.
That's funny. I do too. I follow all those accounts because you're like, oh my God. And they're quicker
So
fights.
I watch that shit way more than I watch any other fighting. So it's like the fighting I watch is like nothing to do with MMA. It's like they won't last a second. But to me, it's entertaining. And I like watching like they're just out there fucking swinging, and then they're tired and they're that shit's fucking hilarious. I love that shit.
So yeah, you see some of the drunken guys. It's pretty funny. But you mentioned a good thing about the girls as well too. I give them, I've talked about that in the past too. It's funny watching them sometimes because like they're very technical and they're getting better and better, but they throw. And I don't know what it is about, and no disrespect to other sports, but there's no other female sport I watch. And when they come out and the females in MMA, it's something about fighting, but you're absolutely right. Sometimes they have the most exciting fight on the card. And big respect to UFC for giving them, the opportunity and out there. Mm-hmm. So,
well, you should watch some women's rugby league.
Same thing. Mm-hmm.
So women's rugby league here is in Australia is growing because like it's getting really big, and the women, it's kind of like the rugby league in itself has evolved, and it's got a lot faster and the game's changed a little bit. And the women have just come in. It's just kind of like the old school footy. Like they just, man, they're fucking at it. They run hard. They tackle hard. It's way more exciting to watch. I watch more women's footy. I like to watch the women's footy when I can. It's fucking funny. And they go hard. Like they're out there trying to kill each other.
Yeah, I imagine in Australia it's different. So I played out here. I was scrum half out here, but I imagine the women's out there is super competitive. It's different over there. It's smaller sport in Canada than it was obviously in Australia. But I'll have a look. I'm gonna search some YouTube videos and
yeah, man. No, they get into it. They even have some fights in the
yeah, they let them go.
Oh, in the Corey knockout you're allowed to, but in the rugby league they got a big fighting rule now. Like you get sent off, and I don't know. I wouldn't be able to play now. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, you'd hurt somebody. What do we got? Speaking of big fights, prediction for Connor and Dustin, the main event. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm a fan of both. I like McGregor a lot. I've always been a fan of McGregor. So I'm going to go McGregor.
McGregor. All right. We got a booth at the after party. So if you want to come, we'll be down there. So let me know. Hit me up if you want to do that.
Come on, man. I am the after party.
I know. Yeah, anywhere you go.
I will be around. Yeah. I will be around. Don't worry.
Walk around weight. I know you do actually keep your diet relatively clean during training camp. So what is your walk around weight, say a month out from a fight, and what do you like to be at going into training camp? And has that changed because you've gotten more muscular as you've been in the UFC?
My weight now is well, not now, but my weight that I stick around is around 130 kg. I don't know pounds. I don't. Yeah.
2.2. So I'll do a quick calculator. 130 times 2.2 for 286. Cool.
So like around there, 286, around 130, 134. Like that's, I don't know, 135. That's like, are you just there? But before I used to, man, I used to like blow up. Like, what? Yeah, I used to blow out to like 140, 143. Like now my body kind of doesn't do that anymore. It's just, like, obviously, my fight body is smaller. I get down to 118. And then after I fight and stuff, I blow out to about 130. But 130 is still, I'm still moving and fast and all of that. It's just, I'm not 120 fight weight.
So you put on about, say, do you go back up to 130 on fight night? Or
nah, I'd be about I get up to about 121, 122. Like I try, and one fight I blew right out after the weigh. My second fight in the UFC, I went to Brazilian barbecue after the weigh.
Oh my God. Are you taking the salt, just drinking the water? Yeah. How'd you feel?
Oh my God. So I weighed in at 118 kilos for the weigh-in. And then they weigh you when you go out to the fight. Man, I was like 132.
For the American fans who don't know, in North America, that's 290. 90 going into the fight on 265. How did you feel though? Sluggish or that was too heavy?
Well, I beat him. I finished him, and then I felt good. I was feeling good, but it wasn't until I stood on the scales, because they weigh you before you walk out. And I was like feeling good, and then I stood on the scales and I was like, fuck. I said to myself, I was like, fuck, I gotta knock this guy out fast. And then after that, I kind of come out of there and I was just like, see, that I do a lot of fucking stupid shit, but I do learn from a lot of my stupid shit that I do. So I was just like, I come out and I was just like, don't ever do that again. You know what I mean? I got one more day of eating fucking grass or whatever I got to eat. You know what I mean? Just one more day. Just wait, you fat cunt. You can wait. Just wait one more day. You know what I mean? So now I'm really good. I just have the meals that they give you and fucking, this and that.
But that's what it is. You learn from those problems. And again, you're only 28, man. You're so young that it's that's cool to see you learning that and stay disciplined. Like I said, you could tell that physically you have more muscle on your frame than you did when you entered the octagon initially. I know you say you've taken your training much more seriously, but it's definitely made a big impact over time. And again, you're still 28. What I actually looked at this and I was like, what is the fighter primes tend to be between 28 on the very low end and then 34. Like 30 to 34 seems to be that window for non-heavyweights. Heavyweights is older. So 30 to 34 seems to be the prime, and it varies, right? Because you got Andre's going to be 50 and knocking people out, but that's what I found. Like 30 to 34 seems to be kind of the range of when people are peaking right now, and everyone's a bit different. But yeah, again, you're young. I got a couple more for you here. So favorite food after a fight now? And we talked about that. Other than beer.
After a fight? Man, I usually hit the green room. So it's like the green room's usually they have fucking good food. So it's kind of, after a fight, if I don't eat in that green room, I'm pissed. If I don't eat there, I'm not eating.
That's funny. So okay.
Yeah. So
what do they have in the green room then?
Green room, sometimes they shit. Sometimes they have like mad stuff. Sometimes they have shit food, but usually they have like meat, vegetables, and they have like a dessert thing. Like they have ice creams, M&Ms, and you make your own. So you'll start off with that, have your mad meat and that, and then you just go hard on all the ice cream and that. And then you get pissed. Yeah. That's usually the plan. Yeah.
Well, if they didn't spend anything on everything on Connor, they should have caviar and everything for you on this one. It's going to be a huge event, right? So should be a good green room. Last one, because I don't know how nobody's done this yet. What is your favorite beer for a Shoey, and who should be sponsoring you already that isn't? Who is the alcohol company that should be sponsoring Tuivasa?
So I got my own alcohol. I got my own beer here in Australia.
No way. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's called Drink West.
Drink West. Okay, we're going to tag that right here. When are you going national with that?
When I can go all right here in Australia. I'm still learning. We're still learning the alcohol business, So it's kind of, it was funny how it came about. We're just sitting around after training, and it was like we were fucking fucked from training, and we're like, man, I feel like a beer. And then we're like, we should make our own beer. And that's where it's gone. It's kind of like a lot of shit in my life. It's just talk about it, and then we just do it. So it's going pretty good. It's been sold out most times we've released it. So we just need to find a level ground on what we're gonna do and how we're gonna distribute, and we're still working on it. And it means a lot to me. You know what I mean? I want to one day hopefully go big with it. So still working on it. I'm not rushing anything right now. I'm just focusing on fighting. But it's always there. It's work. We've got the business. We've got everything's sorted. We've got the beer. We've got the ingredients. We've got everything ready. So it's just
part. Yeah, now it's the problem solving. What type of beer is it? Is it a lager, stout?
It's a lager. Yeah, it's a lager. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice beer. It's a nice beer. I like it.
That's what I fuck with. The lagers are easier to drink.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. No, I gotta. That's really cool, man. So we're gonna tag that on here as well. But that's I'm sure you guys got a social and whatnot. But that once where you're already at is the most difficult part. Everything else from there is problem solving and figuring out the next step. So that's really cool to hear.
Thank you.
Ty, man, I'm so pumped for your fight, man. We got a few people going, and yeah, buddy, I've been talking about you quite a bit because you're just such an entertaining fighter, and you got a massive future in front of you. So, man, best of luck. Safe travels. Can't wait to see your fight. Not this Saturday, but the following Saturday night. And I know you're going to perform well. And yeah, thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Vegas. Make sure you have that shoe and that drink ready for me.
I will. We'll do it. Let's go.